Mr. Santos?
Motion passes. 2.0 special presentations and recognitions. Before we continue with our special presentations, I'd like to take a moment to give the floor to our communication staff, Ms. Goodwin.
Thank you, President Ceballos. Good evening. My name is Mary Roan Goodwin, and I am proud to serve as the Director of Communications and Community Relations. Before I start tonight's special presentation, I'd like to invite our board members, Superintendent Mauricio Arellano, and our Executive Cabinet to please make their way to the reserved section here up front so you can enjoy a special performance in honor of Arts Education Month. Throughout March, SBCUSD will be paying tribute to arts education, and what better way to kick off this observance than with a performance by the district's Mariachi del Valle, a dedicated group of students from across the district who gather after school to celebrate and showcase Mexican culture through music. For months, they've committed 4 hours a week refining their musical and vocal abilities under the guidance of their instructors. Through their shared experience, this group aims to enrich their education while deepening their appreciation for mariachi music and Mexican heritage. Because of their hard work, Mariachi del Valle has been selected to compete in a prestigious event later this month in Long Beach, their first competition at this level. Today, the mariachi will be singing Un Rinconcito en el Cielo, which translates into a little corner in the sky, and El Golpe Traidor, which in English means the treacherous blow. The first beautiful song is about the joys and sorrows of life, as the singer reminisces about the simple pleasures and moments of tenderness shared with those close to him. And the second song, El Golpe Traidor, is about the heartbreak of a man and woman and how she deceived him and he believes she will have consequences for her actions. Audience, let's welcome Mariachi del Valle with a big SBCUSD round of applause.
Mariachi del Valle, listo.
¡Listo!
Nunca pensé que algún día tú me pagarías con una traición. Tu falso amor me dejó herido del corazón. Cuando sabía seguro estaba, me diste el alma, el golpe traidor. Por lo que hiciste conmigo, tendrás tu castigo, lo juro por Dios.
Échale mi mariachi.
Que me querías poniendo tu mano en el corazón, dulces promesas de amor me llenaron de ilusión. Cuando más seguro estaba, me diste en el alma el golpe traidor. Por lo que hiciste conmigo, castiga, lo juro por Dios.
Wow, bravísimo. That was so phenomenal. Thank you, Mariachi del Valle, for an incredible presentation. Let's give them another round of applause. While they arrange themselves, we're going to invite our board and cabinet to take their spaces here so that we can take our picture. We also want to share with the audience this evening that we also have a variety of student artwork here on special display. Our small art gallery in the back of the community room has artwork from elementary, middle, and high school students, including ceramic pieces from Arroyo Valley High School that will be on special display next week at Cal State San Bernardino. Thank you so much, Mariachi. We will ask our board to remain standing. I'd like to invite our cabinet members to take their places along the ramp. We are going to continue celebrating the arts by recognizing some of the most talented student musicians in our school district. Some of these students were selected to play in the All Southern Honor Band, while others made it to the All State Honor Orchestra. Students, when I call your name, please come forward with your family. First up is Anton Elementary School student Francisco Velasquez Espinosa, who played the trumpet in the All Southern Honor Band. We'd like to give a special shout out to his teacher, who is the talented Mr. Michael Lassier. Francisco is the only elementary school student to be honored this evening. So what a special recognition. We're gonna stand for it. Congratulations, Francisco. Our next group of student musicians are from Richardson Prep High, and they credit their music teacher, Mr. Peter Lama. So let's give him a big round of applause. Lama. We will start with student Emily Almanza Ruiz, who plays the string bass. Emily was selected for both the All Southern and All State Honor Orchestra. Congratulations. Next up is violinist Sarah Causey, who was selected for the All Southern Honor Orchestra. Congratulations, Sarah. Hold on, Karina. Mr. Nelson. Okay, thank you, Sarah. Now we will recognize Victoria Jimenez, who played the bass clarinet in All Southern Honor Band. Great job, Victoria. Congratulations, Victoria. And last but certainly not least, you should find him a familiar face as he was part of our District del Valle Mariachi, who you just heard. His name is Mario Salcido, and he played the viola in the All Southern Honor Orchestra. Congratulations, Richardson. Congratulations. Our final student musician to be recognized this evening is San Gregorio High School student Brooklyn Summers. Brooklyn's percussion talent earned her spots in the All Southern Honor Full Orchestra and the All State Honor Band. And kudos to her teacher, who you are seeing this evening, Mr. Jacob Quijada, and her principal, Mr. Jorge de la Torre, for encouraging Brooklyn to aim high. Okay, and that concludes our recognitions for this evening. Board of Education, cabinet members, please return to your seats at the dais.
Well, thank you so much. And again, congratulations. That wonderful mariachi performance, and congratulations to all the recipients today. All right, we're going to go to 3.0 public comments. 3.1 receive public comments. This is the only time the public will have an opportunity to address the board on items not on the agenda and within their subject matter jurisdiction, such as district policies, procedures, programs, services, or fiscal matters. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. 6 or more people who wish to speak on a topic will be provided no more than 30 minutes total. Speakers are cautioned that under California law, no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments regarding any person, simply because these comments are made at a public meeting. So up first, we have Ms. Gina Tenorio.
Thank you. I have a prepared statement. To the Honorable Board, my name is Gina Tenorio, and I am one of your second grade teachers. And I wanted to let you know that I am leaving your district at the end of the school year due to the actions of one cluster lead who observed my classroom 3 times for a total of less than 1 hour combined. In that time, the lead never spoke nor offered feedback to me about their observations. In between these visits, my administrator, my teacher induction coach, and I continued to work closely to make me a steadily stronger teacher. However, it was within days that my administrator and I received a note directly from the cluster lead with a list of critiques that led to my appearance here tonight. The cluster lead wrote the following. During the following dates this school year, you engaged in the following conduct. 12-18, you had students cutting snowflakes in the shape with paper and scissors that were not aligned with state standards. Some students were getting up out of their chairs, walking around the room without permission. 12-14, you had students putting their computers away for over 10 minutes, one group at a time, with students having nothing to do as they waited. You rang the bell to get their attention, but most students did not respond to the signal. 12-25, for 15 minutes, you were at the front of the classroom going over problems in a task titled Counting Money, which 20 of 22 students had already completed, which led to 7 students engaging in sidebar conversation and 6 different students getting out of their seats, walking the room. The task had pictures of money to add, but the standards asked students to solve the word problems involving money. There were no word problems given. Your repetitive conduct did not meet CSTP 1, CSTP 2, and CSTP 4 of the California Standards for Teaching Profession, engaging and supporting all students in learning, and creating and maintaining effective environments for student learning, and planning instruction and designing learning experiences for all students. Overall, your conduct demonstrated a lack of utilizing instructional time to optimize learning, monitor students' learning to make adjustments, and planning instruction based on state standards. Your conduct negatively impacted the school as much as your conduct caused students to not engage in grade level standards-based instruction, which exposes the school and district to not meeting academic performance indicators as outlined on the state dashboard, creates low rigor learning environment for the students, and places your students at risk for not meeting grade level standards to be prepared for the next grade level. In addition, the trust placed in you by administration to create an engaging standards-based learning environments has been greatly compromised. There is a bit more, but the core of what is so concerning to me is what could impact that this could impact a lot of teachers. The snowflake lesson was conducted right before winter break. It is a lesson that meets the 4th grade standard on symmetry. I ran it in lieu of having a party, which is what you might have found if you walked into another classroom. The second visit that the lead mentions did not happen on February 14th. It happened on Thursday, February 13th, because my scholars had come back from physical education with their teacher. They returned late, and when the cluster lead returned to entered my room, they were in the middle of indoor recess as it was raining. Concerned that I only had a short time to show my guests what my class was doing, I attempted to end recess early. The third visit, the lead cluster entered the room alone without my supervising administrator. The lead sat in the back, watched for a short time, then smiled, waved on the way out. What they could not have known is that I had changed my lesson from what I had originally posted because I knew from some short quizzes and testing and assessments that they were not prepared for the lesson I originally intended. The whole situation is so alarming because it chills innovation in the classroom. Any teacher who receives a critique like this would be hesitant or even frightened to run a lesson that could be found flawed in any way. I have never received feedback like this, and I was fortunate enough to have Dr. Rodriguez come into my classroom to observe. I do allow my students to move around, especially during the snowflake lesson, as it was a time for them to enjoy and celebrate the holiday, the incoming holiday. You know, each scholar is as distinct as a snowflake, and this classroom is a distinct ecosystem. The feedback seems so counterproductive and frightening, and I'm already on my way out, but honestly, I really hope that nothing like this ever lands on anyone else. Those are my comments. Thank you so much for taking the time to hear me.
Thank you. Up next, we have Dr. Gwen Dowdy Rogers.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Board President Ceballos, Vice President Aviles Grande, to all of you board members and the cabinet members, and to our audience. It's always just an honor for me to come back, and our board members, our student board members, just so proud of you all. But it's always an honor to come back and just see the fruits of the labor of the work and see how things are continuing to grow and go. But it's equally important to come back and give thanks. And so tonight I'm here to say thank you all on behalf of the Bynum family who is with us. Raymond Bynum is with us, and Val Bynum, who we affectionately call Uncle and Auntie, who is Dr. Margaret Hill's brother. And we're just grateful for the work that you all put in to help support what took place on last Friday. It was a labor of love. It was a 2-year labor, and we couldn't have done it without the support, letters, encouragement. Everything that took place made it all happen, and we appreciate that. And I want you all to know that those things do not happen without good people working to make it happen. More importantly, I know that you do the governance side of things, and Superintendent Ariana, we know that you were unable to be there, and I know you were bummed about that, and Dr. Wyatt represented well, so we appreciate him standing in the stead. But the communication team in particular, they just stayed with us in every single way that we could possibly try to figure out. Working with the federal government, as you know, is not always an easy task because there are guidelines that we have to stick to and things that we wanted to do but could not do, but they kept us, you know, on point. And when the communication team stepped in and supported us, it made it so much more easier. There were things we needed, and it just, time was ticking. And I'm here tonight to thank personally Mary Roan and the communication team for their efforts. We want to give them a hand and thank them for what they did for us. In particular, also, when we had our All About the Children Day, Felicia Alexander was there, as well as Mary Ellen, but she brought to you as well, there's a honeybee, and this is the affectionate name that Dr. Hill has been known by. And there was a honeybee that was given to the board members, but tonight we wanted to make sure that all the cabinet members, as well as our student board members, as well as every member of the team, because we asked Mary how many, and as you can see, this bag is very filled with those, and I promise you don't have to put them on your 700 forms or anything like that. The cost is down. And then I personally want, Mary, I would like you to come on over for a second. And you know, there's something that we know in culture, it says give people flowers while they can smell them. And so tonight we want to give you your flowers for the work that you did for us and laboring with us.
Thank you. You were so nice.
Thank you. So thank you all. Can you, these are for you too, for your staff. And pass those out for everyone. So again, thank you all. Keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing, student board members. I was with you earlier today and they did a stellar job. When students are talking about MTSS, you know we're doing something right. I mean, they're using those acronyms, and Dr. Wyatt was there with me on the panel. And when they can get up in front of individuals and talk about those type of things and say they want those supports, you have to give yourself a pat on the back and know that we're heading in the right direction. They want the help, they want the support. They said it very clear. I was, you know, you came over to me tonight and you said, I feel good. We want kids to feel good. We want them to know that we're here for them. So thank you all so much. Thank you again, Superintendent Ariano, for what you are doing. Continue to drive the boat in the right place. We appreciate it. We stand behind you, and the board, we support you in what you do. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all.
Thank you so much. It's always nice to see you, Dr. Rogers. Up next, we have Mr. Carl Dameron. Sorry about that. Mr. Carl Dameron.
It all works. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Superintendent, board members, I'm here to thank you and the team for sponsoring and supporting the 46th Annual San Bernardino Black History Parade and Festival. Without your involvement and support, this event would not have happened. It would have not been possible. The marching bands, the drill teams, and the students were outstanding as they marched the 2.7 miles down baseline on the west side of San Bernardino, where the parade started 47 years ago in 1968. And I've looked, and it seems like it, if it's not the first Black History Parade in the country, it's one of the first. And your support brought that back. You are invited. Wait, I want to especially thank Terry Comnick, Mary Roan Goodwin, and Dr. Marcus Funches for everything they did to make the parade, festival, and Black Rose Awards successful. And let me tell you, Mary Roan is one of the hardest working people in show business. She's going to take James Brown's name away from him. She was out there. She worked it hard the whole day, everything. She worked with all the schools and all the details. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Marcus Funches, he got up and looked great and made everyone sound great as the host of the Black Rose Awards. And he also worked diligently to make this happen. And Terry and him, the three of them were there in the beginning when I first asked and said, yes, Mauricio, team, I heard that the whole executive team says, yes, we're going to do everything to make that happen. Thank you. Thank you. So you're invited to sponsor and attend the 47th Annual Black History Parade and Festival on Saturday, February 7th, along with the Black Rose Awards. The events will be held at the same place, same times, and hopefully with the same people. I have some thank you letters, and your framed certificates will be delivered later this week, as the framer did not get them finished in time for this meeting. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you so much. We're always glad to hear some good news. So thank you for coming back and sharing that with us. Up next, we have Mr. Rose Tucker. I apologize, Mrs. I said Mr. I completely apologize.
It's long. Hi. Good evening, superintendents and board members. My name is Rose Tucker Berryman. Oh, I'm so nervous. And I'm here on behalf of my husband, Ryan Berryman, who has a nonprofit in San Bernardino. It's San Bernardino Fatherhood. It's been in existence. He actually founded it in 2016. after retiring from San Bernardino County as a social worker supervisor. And if you just bear with me, the mission of San Bernardino Fatherhood is to enhance the engagement of fathers by promoting a culture of father inclusion and responsible fatherhood in communities. This mission will be accomplished in collaboration with local schools, community partners, faith-based organizations, and public and private agencies. The reason I'm here, other than him not being here, is we attempted to send an invitation to a majority of you on January 30th. And I don't think it was successful because I didn't get any responses back. So my purpose this evening is to formally invite you to the event that's upcoming on March 29th, and to also request your support. San Bernardino Fatherhood will hold its 8th annual Daddy-Daughter Dance on Saturday, March 29th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Inland Career Education Center, located at 1200 Northeast Street in San Bernardino. I brought a copy of the letter that we sent, along with flyers in English and Spanish. That I only brought 10 because I didn't know it would be such a large panel, so I apologize. And so we sincerely hope that you will consider supporting this event, either with your attendance or consideration of notifying parents in your respective districts. And also, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Dr. Gonzalez, Barajas Gonzalez, and the Family Engagement Office. They've always been a support to us in past years, her and her staff. And thank you for allowing me to speak this evening, and I hope you all have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And once again, my apologies. Next up, we have Paul Cheney.
I am Paul Cheney, and I'm coming to you to speak about the oldest and largest living things within the care of the school board and the school district, and those are trees, large woody plants. I started my education here at Wilson, Hillside, Golden Valley. I went to Purdue, Pacific on double sessions in 1970, and graduated from Kahona in 1971. I went on to Valley College and graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in horticulture from Cal Poly Pomona. And my career has been with plants and trees specifically for the last 37 years as an ISA certified arborist. One of the first things that I did and continue to do are arborist reports for development review. And this is one thing that I have seen that the district has not done when it builds things. And a current case is at the new child center at San Bernardino High School campus. I was there when there were grading machines brought in, and they were doing over-X and recompacting in the root zones of existing mature trees. Now, for development review reporting, as an experienced person at this, the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, requires that if there are existing large trees on a development property, that there should be an arborist report. Well, when I was on the site that day, they were doing this grading. They were ripping up root zones of these trees, and there was no protection. There was no protection plan. And I talked to the superintendent who was there, and he said, "Oh, our arborist is coming tomorrow." Well, it was already too late. And so if you look at the large deodar cedar that's right in between these buildings, it's already 2/3 dead. And these are trees that have a capability to live, probably 200 or 300 years. And that tree is probably 90 or 100. It's a very small part of its age has yet elapsed. And so who's going to pay the value of that lost tree? We know that trees planted in cities are much more valuable than trees in the countryside because they shade pavement and buildings. We know about the urban heat island effect. People for probably a couple thousand years at least have known about the urban heat island effect, which is why we plant trees in cities. But in doing so, we need to have them cared for properly. When the new building was built at Musqueam Elementary School, the contractors stored equipment and materials right next to, again, another large deodar cedar tree right out there in front of the school. They damaged the bottom of the tree, created large wounds where decay is entering, and there's a tree that could have stood for another couple hundred years, and it will be gone in less than 20. Because it will decay at the bottom, it will be too much of a risk to leave there, and it will have to be removed. Also, outside the new building along Macy Street, there's some pine trees that were planted there to shade that side of the building. Well, just recently this year or late last year, they were lion's-tailed, which means that they had a lot of the foliage stripped off of the trees. And trees have foliage to capture energy to produce oxygen and create shade. And why is the school board, through its subordinates, through the people in the district, why is the school district defeating the purpose of trees on the campuses? Go to North Verdamont Elementary School and see all the lion's-tailed pine trees there. I took a typing class from Mr. Backerty in 1969. I heard Carl say something about 1969, the Black History Parade. Well, I was in the business building, and there were these large mature trees then. Well, there's a magnolia tree there. Well, just recently, 60% of the leaves were cut off that tree by somebody that the school district hired. California Government Code 53067 says that there are industry standards for tree care. Now it's called the A300 standards, and there are ISA best management practices. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you take action to see that you get competent care for our trees.
Thank you so much. We have a question for you, Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul.
Mr. Cheney, thank you for your comments today. When you said you had spoken to the superintendent, did you mean the construction superintendent?
It was a superintendent on the site when I was there.
Of the construction project, correct?
He may have been just a daily superintendent, but it was somebody there who was on the site at the time. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'd be happy to answer any questions, hold workshops with you, teach classes on trees. I'm here to help.
Thank you. Up next, we have Ms. Nori Reese.
Good afternoon, members of the board. I am very nervous. I went last week to Cajon. I have a daughter at Cajon. My name is Norielina Ruiz, and I have a daughter, Iris Ruiz. She's at Cajon. She has been there for 3 years. She's in her second year in the automotive auto mechanic program. And early October, the teacher, Mr. Boone, was removed from the classroom. I was not notified until she started talking about something's going on. I have talked to other parents in the same group, and nobody has been notified. I understand that everybody has personal issues, personal life. and I'm not here to find out what's going on with a teacher. I'm here to advocate for our youth. During the meeting, the parent meeting at Cajon, Mr. Jackson, the principal, shared with us the goal of the school, which is to have kids or scholars be ready, college ready, and career ready by the time they graduate. It's been many months since these kids have been sitting down in a classroom being taught by substitute teachers, CPR, first aid classes, and OSHA, which are great, but those without a certificate are not enough to get these kids in track to be adults by the time they graduate. I talked to a friend of mine. Her son-in-law was in that same program 3 years ago. He graduated. He has a job with Ford thanks to that program. Her daughter, she graduated 2 years ago with the same program. She works on her car all the time. I did not belong to this district when I was in high school, but I went to ROP and I took a veterinarian assistant program, and I was able to provide for myself to start a career as an assistant. I know how important these programs are, and we are not utilizing the time of our children. I'm here to advocate for them. If you look at the back, those kids on the back, there are Cajon students. They are waiting for a teacher. We would love to see Mr. Boone back, but if that is an issue, please take advantage of these years of these kids. Many of them do not see college as an option because they don't have the means to it, they have no interest, or simply it's just not in their time right now. But they are willing to step up and look for options that we can give them. I am here because this is a great district. I have seen great things happen, and we make hope happen. So please let me know, how can we give this program back to Cajon? We need answers. I am thankful for the time that you have given me, and I hope that you take the time to consider that program for our youth. It will benefit our community tremendously. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Norlina. Up next, we have Ms. Shanna Beltran.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. Okay, I'm here today about our new lice policy. Allowing students with live lice to be in school, as a mother, it is very concerning. What was your thought process? This is going to start a lice pandemic. Did you think about the students, staff members, and our community? Did you think about how hard it would be for our low-income families who are struggling and don't have washers or dryers? How hard it would be for them to be able to treat their homes because their children had caught lice? And for staff members, are you guys gonna pay for the treatment and for our hairs and for our homes? As a mother with a special needs child with autism who does not like to be touched, did you think about the torture it would be for them if they was to catch lice? And how about the students who have lice, that they're going to be isolated, bullied, teased, and threatened by other students? We all know how mean and cruel these students can be to one another. We all have heard where there have been incidents where students who took their own lives because of being bullied. Have you thought about that possibility when you decided to approve this policy? I know I am not the only parent or staff member who is very concerned and disgusted by this policy. If you guys really cared about our students, our staff members, and our community, you would change this policy to a no lice policy. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tillman?
I would like to agendize in the future about the lice policy. I did get calls from employees, and I understand there's been some state law changes. So just so that we're clear on what's driven the change in the policy, so everybody understands why the change has been made and the reason why we had to make the change to the policy, maybe we can agendize it for the next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Medina?
I appreciate that, Mr. Tillman. And also when we do the presentation to include that there are supplies that are provided, and that way we can have just the full information as well.
Do I have consensus to agendize that item for next board meeting? Thank you. Up next, Mr. Carl Greenwood.
Good evening, Board. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. We have a few questions and concerns, and these questions and concerns started back in September of '24, and we're still having the same problems in '25. We had an outside investigator come into the district, and we're wondering, is that investigation complete? And if not, when will it be complete? And when it is complete, how will you disseminate to the membership the findings of that report? We've talked to everyone that we could talk to in this district, and we have little traction from the district or their officials. It's unacceptable for classified employees to have to work as hard as they work and also be under such a physical and mental strain from supervision. In closing, you're giving us no alternative but to take our concerns outside of the district. We've had telephone conversations with law offices who are interested in taking our case. The next step will be to vet these law offices and decide which one will be representing us. All the testimonies will be recorded. The hundreds of photos will be recorded, and all factual documents will be recorded and entered into the court system and the media as we prepare for a class action lawsuit against the San Bernardino Unified School District. All we want is to be treated fairly. All we want is action. All we want is to be treated like human beings. Thank you, Superintendent, for having the outside investigator come in, but things have gotten progressively worse since then. Being threatened, being told that we are not to do things that is against the law. Walking campuses and being followed around and then accused of being, how could you say this? Accused of being looked at as some type of a pedophile for doing your job. After you go to a school site, you check into that school site, our vehicles are out in front. The school in question is Pacuma. You walk that school because even before it was open, we're on those campuses and we're getting it prepared to open. You're talking to long-term teachers, and then you have a vice principal who says, you weren't wearing your tag or whatever. It was cold, it was raining. My tag, you can see it. It's me who they're talking about. Then I get called in the office, and I'm told, all we heard was of a black man in black clothes who was trying to gain entry to the girls' locker room. And I asked, what are you calling me, a pedophile? And she said nothing. We have jobs to do. Those girl areas haven't been surveyed in years because we can never get into them. Those are the things that bring down the morale of classified employees. Our grounds department, when you can physically see supervision between vehicles, yelling, screaming in areas closer than this. To me, you're that close to me, you can hurt me. Your supervision leaves a lot to be desired. The custodial department, we have talked to, we're blue in the face. They will not come with a legal way of how to time runs. I've done it for years. My background is in custodial. I can show you how to do a run in 15 minutes. I've even told the administration there at the yard, it's simple. You have 8.5 hours, 1/2 hour for their break, 2 15 minutes. That leaves you 7.5 hours. Once you get to 7.5 hours and you still have a page or two of work, that should be assigned to someone else. If not, you're killing them, you're working them overtime, and when something happens, you do not want to deal with it when they have broken limbs, back problems, and things such as that. Well, why did you do it? Because I'm being pushed. We need to really start realizing that we all have jobs to do.
Time.
Okay, thank you. Can
Thank-
I finish?
Do you have a lot left?
Just one more sentence or two. We all have jobs to do, but there is no teaching staff, principals. We're all one body. We're the San Bernardino Unified School District. And when one hurts, we all hurt. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Ms. Eden Ochoa.
Oh, I had a regards into that, a question to you. Sorry.
Mr. Greenwood.
Sorry. I was just curious as to, like what did you mean like by private? Because I don't know much about this, and I'm guessing the people out there, like people on here might not know, but what did you mean by like the private investigator that was involved? And like on like, was the girls' locker like the initial incident that like led to that, or what was the background for that as to why you like?
We had a host of problems way back in September.
Okay.
We had a host of problems way back in September. We approached everyone. Our superintendent thought it would be best to have an outside investigator come in that wouldn't be biased, somebody that could give us true facts and figures. That was back in September, as I said. We're still faced with things every day. We want to know what the investigator has, and so we can move on from there. You know, we want this thing resolved, and that's all we're asking. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Greenwood.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ochoa, for your question. Up next, we have Ms. Elizabeth Romero.
Muy buenas tardes o buenas noches. Vengo aquí para dar mi comentario positivo. Lo voy a dar primero en español. I'm going to do it in Spanish first. Y ella lo va a decir en inglés. ¿Ok? En estos momentos que he pasado difíciles, perdí cosas materiales, pero me di cuenta que estoy millonaria de amigos y familiares. De parte de la familia Romero, por medio de este medio, quiero agradecer primeramente a nuestro Padre Dios y a todas las personas y familiares que de alguna manera nos han estado apoyando moralmente, con sus oraciones, con sus abrazos, con su tiempo, con comida, con ropa, monetariamente, con palabras de ánimo, llamadas, mensajes, comprensión, y nos sentimos muy bendecidos con todo su amor que nos han brindado. Solo les puedo decir que todo esto Dios lo mira y Él se los triplicará 1000 veces más, ya que no tenemos cómo pagárselos. Estaré orando para que esto suceda. Así han sido nuestros ángeles enviados por Dios. 1000 gracias por todo, y a todas las personas que sin conocernos nos han brindado su ayuda por medio de GoFundMe, y también personas que sin conocernos se hicieron presentes de alguna manera. En especial quiero agradecer a las familias de las novias y los novios de mis hijos, que fueron parte también muy esencial. Fueron un apoyo para nosotros y no podía faltar el señor Mauricio y Cindy López y su familia por hacer un evento de tacos donde muchas personas nos apoyaron sin conocernos. También mi admiración y respeto para los bomberos del departamento de San Bernardino, policías, paramédicos, enfermeros, enfermeras, vecinos y personal de la escuela Bradley, maestras, maestros, maestras ya retiradas, directores, subdirectores del distrito de San Bernardino, estudiantes del distrito, especialmente de la escuela Cajón y Bradley. Especialmente quiero decir unas palabras de un niño que me dijo: mi Romero, perdiste tu casa, ven a vivir un día conmigo. Y otro me dijo: yo te compro otra casa. También a Rocío y Cristina Ruiz, los estudiantes de ICUC, el señor Tom Dolan, miembros del board, asistentes del superintendente, el superintendente, secretarias, consejeros, maestros de CIC, staff del distrito, recates, traductoras, custodians, padres del distrito y al distrito de San Bernardino, y muy en especial el departamento de involucramiento familiar, compañeros de trabajos de mis hijos, personas del trabajo de construcción de mi esposo y sus patrones, lectores de Nuestra Señora de la Esperanza y Sitio Valencia, Sitio de Rosa, personal de la iglesia, los televisores, reporteros, la Cruz Roja Americana y los del grupo de folclórico de mi hija. 1000 agradecimiento de todo corazón a mi hermana Maribel y mi cuñado Mario, mis sobrinos Melanie y Diego, que nos están brindando donde vivir. Nuestra admiración y respeto para todos, mientras están todos ustedes ayudándonos, al mismo tiempo pasando por sus propias luchas. Eso se llama amor. Gracias por todo. El amor que hemos recibido de todos ustedes. Y si alguno me falta, no se me sientan. Estoy tratando de incluir a todos, pero solo les puedo decir que muchas gracias, gracias, gracias. Sabemos que el proceso es largo, del cual nuestras vidas cambiaron totalmente, pero agradecidos con Dios, porque tengo a toda mi familia con vida y más unidos que nunca. Solo Dios sabe por qué nos pone estas pruebas. Solo trataré de sacar lo más positivo de esta dura experiencia Mil gracias a todos y a todas las personas. Los llevaremos en nuestros corazones siempre. Ámense como familia y amémonos los unos a los otros como seres humanos, porque nunca sabemos cuándo nos puede cambiar la vida. Dios me los bendiga a todos siempre. La unión hace la fuerza y la diferencia. Sin Dios no somos nada. Los queremos mucho.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Romero. Good evening, everybody.
You can use the one right in front of you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Romero Gonzalez, and I'm going to say some positive things about the district tonight. I'm going to talk about a hardship that I recently had. So this is coming from the Romero family, my family. Through this mean that you have afforded me, I want to thank first of all our Father God and all the people and relatives who have been supporting us morally, with their prayers, their hugs, their time, their food, clothing, money-wise, and with their words of encouragement. Calls, messages, understanding the way we feel. We are very blessed with all of your love that you have given us. I can only tell you that God sees all, and this He will triple 1,000 times. Since we have no way to pay you back, we will be praying for this to happen, for you to receive blessings. We have been with our angels sent by God 1,000 things to everyone and everything that everyone has done without even knowing us. They gave us their help through a GoFundMe, and also people who, without knowing us, were present in some way. Especially, I want to thank the families of my children's girlfriends and boyfriends, my daughter's boyfriend and their family, who were also a great support for us and could not be missed. Mr. Mauricio and Cindy Lopez with their family for making a taco event where many people supported us without even knowing us. Also, my admiration and respect for the San Bernardino Fire Department, police, paramedics, nurses, neighbors, and the staff at Bradley School, teachers, retired teachers, principals, and assistant principals of the San Bernardino district students, especially from Cajon and Bradley School, Rocio and Cristina Ruiz, and the students at ICUC. Tom Dolan, board members, assistant superintendent, and superintendent, secretaries, counselors, the CAC teachers, district staff, recreational aides, translators, custodians, parents, SBCUSD, and the San Bernardino district, and especially the family engagement department, co-workers of my children, people from my husband's work, construction, and their employers, lecturers from the Our Lady of Hope Valencia site and Del Rosa site staff from that church, television reporters, and American Red Cross, and those of my daughter's folklore groups. My heartfelt thanks to my sister Maribel and my brother-in-law Mario, my nephews Melanie and Diego, who are giving us a place to stay while we find something or somewhere else to live. Our admiration and respect for everyone while we are helping us and at the same time going through our own struggles or your own struggles. That is called love. Thank you all, and love. The love we have received from all of you. If I'm missing any of you, please do not feel left out. I am trying to include everyone, and everyone I'm thankful to. But I can only say thank you, and thank you very much. And again, thank you. We know that the process is long from which our lives have changed totally, but grateful to God because I have my entire family alive and more united than ever. Only God knows why He gives us these tests. I will only try to get the most positive experience out of this. If the Lord experiences a thousand, if, sorry, out of this experience, this hard experience, a thousand thanks to everybody and to all the people. We will carry you in our hearts always. Let's love each other as one family and love each other as human beings that we are, because we never know when our lives can change. God bless you all. Unity and strength makes the difference. Without God, we are nothing. We love you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Romero, and I'm so sorry that you and your family are going through this, time, and, whatever you need, please, reach out, and, yeah, I'm really, really sorry. We are here for you. Mr. Tillman?
Yeah, Ms. Moreau, I didn't know about the incident, so whatever I can do, make sure you reach out to me too. I'd love to help you, okay? My prayers are with you.
Ms. Medina?
Claro, qué bueno que hayas venido. Thank you for coming and really addressing this, and hopefully we can help support you and your students, the students that you have within our school district too as well. Y te llamaré mañana. I'll be calling you. Thank you.
Gracias. Up next, we have Mr. Edwin Delgado. I have you for 11.4, but did you want to go now? Okay. Can you press the button? I think it's off.
Okay, there we go. Good evening, Board President Ceballos, Vice President Ms. Mary Ellen Grande, and board members, cabinet members, distinguished guests. My name is Edwin Delgado, and I'm here representing 5th District Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. And I'd like to speak on item 11.4 and express the supervisor's appreciation for this item, the partnership that the San Bernardino City Unified School District is taking on. Our communities have seen firsthand the devastation that fires can bring, and we know how critical it is to have fire stations strategically placed to respond quickly. The partnership between the school district and our San Bernardino County Fire Protection District is a commitment to public safety, and it ensures that our firefighters have the resources to protect our families, our homes, our students, and our community. Supervisor Joe Baca Jr. is deeply appreciates the Board of Education's collaboration and support in making this possible. Your dedication to our community safety does not go unnoticed, and we truly, truly appreciate the work that is done by our school district. We're grateful for your leadership, and with this type of partnership, we strengthen our response times and we protect the people who call this community home. Again, we appreciate the support, we appreciate the partnership, and thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. And then last comment, public speaker is Ms. Liz Romero. Oh, okay. I think the mic might be off. If you want to just press the button.
Good evening.
Thank you.
How are you guys doing tonight? I hope well. Okay. It's just a public comment that I kind of wanted to provide, considering everything that's going on in the United States. One of the things I wanted to start off with is that I respect everybody's creed, religion, status, and I wanted to start with, I know that there are protests that have been going on, and for the school safety and the public safety as well as the children's safety, I was just wondering, I know that they get an excuse protest if they do voluntarily go on there and do so for whatever reason that they go and protest. I wanted to just make sure that if I could be an advocate for the children in San Bernardino, that if they do decide and you guys get flyers or whatever, the school site, and they find it, if they can notify the sheriff's department and let them know, can you at least have 1 or 2 vehicles with them, front or back behind them, to make sure that, you know, nothing goes further than a peaceful protest. So I'm just asking of you guys if you guys could be so kind and make sure that they are in a safe zone, pretty much, since they're protesting within San Bernardino County. That's one of the items I had down here. I know that they did ask for I know that they did ask for the fact that the children, you know, not to continue certain ethnicity history, and I gladly respect the fact that you guys acknowledge everybody's ethnicity, because United States, even though they were founded by our fathers, they went ahead and built a society from their mistakes, from learning from their history. Other words, we wouldn't be moving forward and having all these beautiful people in front of us of all ethnicities, of mixture descents. Underneath our skin, we're all made from the same properties. We bleed, we think, our heart beats, you know what I mean? So as humane, I want to be grateful for the fact that you guys are still being able to advocate for the children of the future to still learn and have their roots and not being taken away from them. Because although we acknowledge it or not, for those that are religious, and we're all brothers and sisters at the end of the day, and for those that are atheists, whether or not you want to accept it, science has proven many times again that we all descended from Africa. So with that being said, I just want to make sure that when we first came to the United States, the first language in a stolen land was indigenous, all kinds of indigenous, not just the natives and all other indigenous, but also the Latin people. First language here was indigenous. Second, Latin when the settlers actually arrived. Spaniards, that's where they were. I know that they want us to only speak English, but I want to advocate for the children to make sure whether or not you guys are going to continue with these programs, for them to continue either be bilingual or trilingual. With that being said, so you guys more or so are aware that in order to survive in the third world countries, that we are here still being competitive, we need to consider the fact that these languages are important. It's important for them as they develop outside, once they grow up and realize what the real world is. If obviously not a lot of people travel, when they go to different countries, they learn different languages, different foods, different cultures. So therefore, it's just a matter of them to being able to understand, to be open-minded, respectful, and understanding of other human beings around them, not just themselves or where we come from. I only have 20 seconds left, so I'm going to try to put it in a nutshell. I want to thank you. I know that's been a big thing lately, that you guys are not acknowledged for the stuff that you guys have contributed so far. And I noticed because I came from LA. I lived there for 20 years, and now I live here in the county. And I've noticed you guys have advanced in so many ways. But I want to thank you for taking the time with me tonight. And I kind of still had a lot of other things to say, but I'll make it another day. Thank you. You have a guys wonderful night.
Thank you. Now we're up to 4.0, public hearing. Item 4.1, public hearing and approval for implementation of the SBC USD Energy Infrastructure Modernization Program. I will now open the public hearing. Are there any public comments?
There are none.
This public hearing is now closed. Be it resolved The Board of Education approves agreements by and between the district and Climate LLC for implementing Phase 1 of the SBC USD Energy Infrastructure Modernization Program. Is there a motion?
Move.
Can I get a second? You both motioned. Can I?
Second.
Thank you. Motion by Ms. Medina and second by Dr. Wyatt. Oh, Ms. Alexander. Motion by Ms. Alexander and second by Dr. Wyatt. Any discussion? Let's vote. Mrs. Chavez? Ms. Chavez?
Aye.
Ms. Eden Ochoa?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Motion passes. 5.0 closed session. 5.1 closed session public comments. Do we have any?
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Can I have Mr. Ahmad? Can you press the button on the mic?
Hello? Okay. Good evening, board members and cabinet. Before I begin, I'd like to ask if Mr. Ahmad Boone is still being considered for certificated non-reelect because on the online agenda for today, it has 5 names stricken from the agenda.
We're taking public comment, so we won't respond to that now.
Okay. I'm here to speak on his behalf. Hello, board members and faculty and students. My name is Roman Virgin. I'm currently a senior at Cajon High School. I'm here to advocate for Cajon High School and our pathways. Students often choose pathways based on their interests. However, they stay in the pathway because of the educators leading the program. I do not need to tell you all the teacher can make or break a program. San Bernardino City Unified School District is actively trying to take away one of our stellar educators who has been nothing but encourage students in real world work experience through our auto shop pathway. As a Cajon Cowboy, we pride ourselves on our rigorous instructional programs while developing effective communicators and responsible citizens, and having strong, authentic teachers who genuinely care for us and our program and classes can make a world of a difference. The way SBC USD is handling this situation is completely unacceptable, embarrassing, and unfair. Although I was never a student on his roster, I have always felt like one of his students, and that his class is safe, positive, and welcoming environment. I have observed how he stands at his door and fist bumps every one of his students, engages in conversation during passing periods. I understand that the school board has a responsibility of ensuring that our teachers are held to high standards, and I respect that. However, I have had a handful of extraordinary teachers at Cajon High School, and Mr. Boone is definitely a teacher I connect with, and he makes it a point to feel valued. Mr. Boone has always had a positive attitude towards students and just anyone he encounters. Not allowing Mr. Boone to come back will be a disservice to Cajon High School and the pathway we built. I urge the school board to reconsider this decision and explore any alternatives that would allow him to continue to grow his authorship pathway rather than dismissing him outright. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. I have 4 public comment forms up here, so I will be calling these individuals up. So first up was Mr. Boone. So I'm assuming you weren't Mr. Boone. Okay, so up next, I have Andrew Espinoza. Can you press the button?
There we go. Good evening, board. Good evening, cabinet. I'm here to speak on behalf of Ahmad Boone. I'm writing to express my deep admiration and respect for Ahmad Boone, who has been an amazing educator and cherished friend at Cajon High School. As an auto shop teacher and pathway lead, he brings incredible passion and expertise to his instruction. In the short year I've gotten to know Mr. Boone, he's made a significant impact in all 6 sections of his auto tech courses, which are not only AG through G approved, but also articulated with our community college. This year, we have also worked with SBCSS to turn both of our pathways as an apprenticeship program with the state of California. His efforts have not only improved his class curriculum, but it has also increased student interest and engagement in the class. Mr. Boone's commitment to his students goes beyond his academics. He genuinely cares about all students' well-being and growth, and he acts as a mentor and a guide to everyone. His willingness to provide advice and support has left a lasting impact on many students. This shows the strong positive influence he has on everyone's life. Beyond his teaching role, Mr. Boone actively contributes to our school community. He participates in various school events and supports extracurricular activities like automotive competitions and community service projects. His enthusiasm and positive energy is contagious, making him an influential figure in fostering a strong school spirit and sense of community. On a personal level, Ahmad is more than just a colleague. I call him a friend. Mr. Boone is someone I can call any time of the day and ask for help, and he'll be right there. We've shared many meaningful conversations and moments, and I deeply appreciate his kindness, his integrity, and his sense of humor. His positive outlook and supportive nature makes him a joy to work with and to be around every single day. I am lucky enough that I get to call him a friend, and all his contributions to our school and his dedication to his students make him an invaluable asset to Cajon High School. The class nor the students would be the same without him. Thank you.
Thank you. And just for the record, what was your name?
Roman Virgin, Virgen.
Okay, thank you. Up next, I have Ms. Juliana Hereda.
Good evening, board members, staff, faculty, and students. My name is Juliana Heredia, and I am currently a senior at Cajon High School. I've had the pleasure of being in the auto shop pathway led by Mr. Boone for the last 2 years. And although this wasn't his program to begin with, he has made it his own and shown us a new perspective of hands-on learning. I've gotten permission from my peers to speak as a student representative of the program. We were initially unsure about him, but quickly he became everyone's favorite teacher. His ability to genuinely connect with students fostered a healthy and safe environment that allowed us to both feel challenged and supported. What set him apart from other teachers was his honest investment in the well-being of his students by actively offering advice and guidance, not just from an academic standpoint, but for our personal growth as individuals. Beyond the lessons taught within the auto shop, Mr. Boone instilled valuable life skills such as transparency, integrity, and honesty. Since he took his leave, our curriculum has been substantially affected, and we have been unable to gain hands-on experience and mechanical knowledge. Although this is my last year at Cajon High School, it is only right that with his commitment, expertise, and overall passion for teaching that Mr. Boone shall remain the facilitator of the automotive pathway. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. And that was all of the public comments that were submitted. So I am assuming that everybody here is in support. Unfortunately, I won't be able to take any more comments right now, but your attendance here, is everybody in support of the same cause? Okay, that has been noted.
I'm Mr. Boone. I didn't get to speak.
Oh, I called your name and
Yeah,
I thought you weren't here.
It's
Go
okay.
ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. I want to first thank parents, staff, and students for taking the time to come to this meeting to support me. I thank you for believing in me and the value I bring to the classroom. I also want to thank the board members and our superintendent for taking the time to hear my message and all of your support. I'm here today to ask the board and superintendent to grant me the ability to remain in the position that I believe God granted and blessed me with at Cajon as the automotive CTE teacher. I know time is brief, time is short, so I'll try to summarize as best as I can. with the time I have allowed. I want to let you guys know about me personally so you'll understand a little more. I was born and raised in El Paso, Texas until I was 13 years old. Within those 13 years, I was homeless. I continued to be homeless up until I arrived in California, up until the age of 16 years old. My mother and father were drug addicts. My older brother was in a gang. In order to escape the physical, mental abuse, and the homelessness that we all endured, my three brothers and I went to school without showers, empty stomachs, slept in abandoned cars, vacant houses, and wore the same clothes to school for many years. I unfortunately know the feeling of only being able to eat a meal from school and coming home to an empty refrigerator. As the years went on, I tried my best to make sure my own kids and students would have a stable, loving home and wouldn't have to go through the same hardships I endured. Over the last 7 years, I've lost 10 members of my family. It started with my aunt who passed away. After my aunt passed away, 4 months later, my mom passed away of pancreatic cancer. The very next month, my oldest sister passed away of cancer. 1 year later, my sister's son, my nephew, passed away. Then 2 aunts, then another nephew, and I continued to lose family for the last 7 years. I lost a total of 10 members of my family. I lost a family member approximately every 8 months in the last 7 years. I have all of the obituaries to provide you guys to see of the loved ones that passed away in my life. As you can see, there's been many obstacles and hardships in my life. Regardless of these hardships, I continue to work hard to build a solid life and became an industry professional. I'm here now, still thriving, have found peace with God, and have made very many professional friendships at Cajon. When I got hired, I was told that San Bernardino was extremely supportive to students, staff, and parents. I have shared with the highest levels of HR in regards to my personal medical factors and that have happened to me in the past outside of San Bernardino School District. Based on previous administrative errors outside of San Bernardino County, the Civil Rights Department reached out to me and has notified me my rights have been violated due to errors made from my previous employer. Therefore, my position at Cajon should have never been in jeopardy. I was told help would be available. Instead, now I'm being told I would be a non-reelect. I was previously emailed by a union representative that my position would be held during my leave. This was based on an email received from Human Resources. Later, I received a letter from Human Resources that I was evaluated and observed. Based on their evaluations and observations from Human Resources, they recommended me for non-reelect. No one from Human Resources has ever evaluated me formally or informally, so that statement is false. All of my classroom evaluations at Cajon and previous employers have all met or exceeded expectations. I have been patiently waiting without pay to regain my position at Cajon because I love my job, and I love my job at Cajon as the automotive teacher there. I have improved the automotive program. I have updated many safety issues with the district safety issues, which the district safety office can attest to. I have implemented partnerships with San Bernardino and Toyota Subaru and Toyota of San Bernardino, set up meetings with BAR to get donations for student engagement, and will continue to make sure that the program succeeds if given the opportunity. Please give me the opportunity to thrive at Cajon, the school district, and allow me to be reelected. I ask all of you for your understanding and your support. San Bernardino believes that our ability to overcome adversity propels us to grow, adapt, and succeed. Your decision to allow me to continue as a teacher at Cajon High School amplifies San Bernardino School District's core values. Allow me to show students, parents, and staff that they can make it through difficult challenges and obstacles as well, not just myself. Thank you for your time and support, and I appreciate all of you hearing me out and your consideration.
Thank you so much, Mr. Boone. And again, I apologize. I almost skipped you, but thank you for sharing those comments. So we will be moving on now to closed session. So we are adjourned. Thank you.